This is Keeping It Real, part of a series of videos where I wanted to interview people about how they became interested in a healthcare career and their journey to get to where they are today. In these interviews, we will see the key ingredients to success are persistence and tenacity. Do not give up. Be open to the opportunities that present themselves. Hi, we're here at Schwab Rehabilitation Hospital. I'm here with Stefany Campos, who is a domestic violence coordinator. Thank you, Stefany.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about your personal story and how you became interested in your current profession?
Yes, I had a car accident in Mexico when I was 7 years old, and we were going on vacation. So that's how I became quadriplegic, and I was always in a lot of hospitals with doctors, therapists, just caregivers, and so I always dreamed about doing something that I can also give back at the same time some of the help that I got along the way. So this is how I just started working at the hospital.
We're here today with Dr. Juan Carlos Caicedo, who is an associate professor of surgery at Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine. He is also a transplant surgeon for both adults and children. He also is the director of the Hispanic Transplant Program. Thank you so much for being with us today, Juan Carlos.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
Can you tell us a little bit about your personal story, your career trajectory, and how you became interested in becoming a transplant surgeon?
When I was in my middle school, high school, I was very interested in math, physics, and biology. But then I realized that, and even though I considered to be an engineer, I realized that that won't provide no satisfaction to me. If I fix a machine, that won't be able to smile, hug me, and say thank you. Then I realized I like people. And then I realized that what I really like is surgery. And I was even more interested to deal with complicated issues. In my home country in Colombia, a lot of people were dying because there was no enough people trained to perform transplants. I was able to get the opportunity to come here and train. And our profession, medicine, is so good. There's nothing that could provide more satisfaction than medicine.
We're here today with Dr. Shin Chi Dong, who is a professor of medicine, nursing, and behavioral sciences at Rush University Medical Center. He is also the director of the Chinese Health, Aging, and Policy Program. Thank you so much for being here today, Shin Chi.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about your personal journey and how you became interested in becoming a geriatrician, scientist, and policy advisor?
I grew up in a rural village in China and became the primary caregiver for my grandparents at a very young age. Since the age of 13, I was responsible for their basic activity, daily living, and throughout my career I became interested in how can I better care for older adults clinically, and that's how I pursued a career as a geriatrician. As my career went on, I became more interested in understanding how can we leverage research to be able to further care for older adults in the United States and abroad. And furthermore, I became more interested to become how can we leverage research as well as policy to change the system in terms of providing better care for older adults.
We're here today with Dr. Afaf Meleis, who is a professor of nursing and sociology at the University of Pennsylvania School of Nursing. She is also the former dean there at the School of Nursing and an Institute of Medicine member of the National Academies of Science, and just an extraordinary woman. Thank you so much for being with us today, Dr. Malaise. Can you tell us a little bit about your personal story and how you became interested in your career as a nurse and a dean and everything else you do?
So I grew up in Alexandria, Egypt, and this was a city that's very cosmopolitan and has so many religions and so many nationalities. So this is where my passion for globalization came from. My mother was passionate about nursing and was definitely a nurse leader all over the Middle East. It was an extraordinary time in Alexandria, Egypt, because at the University of Alexandria, for the first time in the entire Middle East, a school was established at the university to give a bachelor degree in nursing, a baccalaureate program. So all these things came together that I thought, this is really what I want. I want a career where I can advance and I can see the world and I can learn from the world and I can make a difference.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us today, Dr. Malaise.